one last thing, the gasket. So this one was for the one that was meant for the Dax, right? So you see here, actually right here they didn't even say Dax. It says something 125. They might say Dax, but it also says CT 125. But this one comes with the metal gasket, just like the Dax, and that's the proper gasket. Whereas the one for the Grom, it comes with a non-metal one, and it's not the same pattern. Look at it. See how it's different? Let's see. Let's put this one right here. See, it's different right here. I think the bolt pattern is probably no. It's not even the same. It's not the same bolt pattern. Nope. So you see how it's different. The two. So yeah. So I guess you do need both kits until WeBike figures it out. Or Takigawa figures it out. I shouldn't say WeBike. They just a retailer. Takigawa is the company that makes this. Until they figure it out, you need both kits. You need the 110, the 0110, 0150 that they say is for the Dax. Then you need the 0110, 0134 for the Grom. So the combination of the two will fit. So basically you have to pay twice the price. And I think this kit wasn't that expensive though. This kit was only, I think, about 30 bucks. Also about 30 bucks, I think. So it wasn't too bad price wise. So yeah, so that's for your info. All right, thanks for watching. All right, here's my Dax125. I'm gonna take off this cover here. This is the stator cover, so I'm gonna be putting on this kit here. This is the bearing kit. So this, if you know this engine, you know that the crank has two main bearings on either side of the crank, right? Then on the other side is the clutch. And that one has a bearing as well at the end of the crank, because the crank, this crank right here is long, so at the other end of the crank has a bearing to support it. Well, this end here has no bearing, so it just kind of sticks out there, kind of flapping in the wind, basically. So the stator's right here spinning. So that's what this kit is for. This kit is adds a bearing in there, so that way it has a little bit more support. This helps with slight reduction in vibration, especially in the higher RPMs. That's when you feel it the most. Where it works the most, when you lower RPM, low, probably even mid-range, you probably won't even notice it. But higher RPM is when you notice it the most. It's a good idea to have that, prolong the engine a little bit longer, right? With the crank, so that way there's no play, wobble, and anything like that. So if it stays more stable, it'll last a little longer, right? All right, so there's a bunch of 8mm screws. I already loosened them all up. Actually, let me take them out, but I'll do it off camera. All right, I got all the bolts off. You see all the bolts here. So now we just need to put the cables out of the way here and open this up, and let's see how much oil is going to spill out here. Let's see. Okay, I see a couple of what do they call them? Dowel pins. I think they're called dowel pins, or little dowels to keep everything in place. Oh, that's my oil coming out. God damn it, that's a lot of oil. Fuck. That's new oil too. I just changed the oil not too long ago. God damn it, it's all brand new fucking oil. God damn it, I should have done this before, in the middle of an oil change. So that's just like brand new fucking oil. That's like a liter of oil, well, not a liter, a quart of oil, all gone. That's all right. Just wiggle the thing loose a little bit. Okay, so now right now the thing that's holding it, you see, kind of, let me go a different angle here. Let's look at the right here where the spacing is. If I pull it out, see how it snaps back in. What that is, the reason why that is because, damn, all the oil's gone. This is the lowest point down. All the oil's gone. God damn it, it's like brand new oil. Look at this. This is brand new oil. See this brand new oil? I'm not sure you guys can see that. It's brand new oil right there. It's like, doesn't even have any miles on it. I literally just changed, the last time you saw my video on this, I just changed the oil and I didn't do anything else. I didn't even go on the ride. Right, so the reason why this thing sucks, see that? It sucks back in is because this is the stator. There's a magnet here. Right, so the magnet's pulling this thing back in. Okay, I need to remove the shift lever. So that's a 10mm. Everything else was an 8mm. So let me get a 10mm. All right, so I got my 10mm off. Got my shift lever off. Now I should be able to take this cover off and just kind of set it aside a little bit. Let's see, hopefully I won't spill oil everywhere. Let me get this rag down in here, just in case. This rag down in here. Underneath. Okay. All right. Oops. So there's the starter. Oh shit. So this is the starter gear right here. What you see right here. This little pinion gear here. What's that shaft? The shaft for the starter gear. That's right there. Let's just get this out of the way here. It's in the way. It's out of my way. Actually, you know what? It's being held by the magnet, so let's just leave it there. The magnet's holding it in place, so it's all good. Let's see. So the seal here, the gasket came off as one piece, and it didn't. Nothing happened to it. So that's a good sign. That means I could probably, most likely, reuse the seal. I just leave it as is, and wipe it clean, and call it good. This rag is so dirty. I shouldn't be using this thing. But let's use this. Let's wipe off the oil so it doesn't. Less of it will drip everywhere. Okay, there's still a little bit of oil down in the cover here. I'm just gonna leave it dangling like this. Everything's good right now. All right, let's see. What do I need to do? So let's take off, or let's not take off, but let's open up this package here. Let's see. So it has a, so there's a bracket that fits on top somewhere like this, wherever. So this bracket right here, you see how it has a, see how this side's flat, but this side has a step. So I'm not sure if this fits in like this or the other way around. We'll figure it out. We need to take off these bolts first. So they got 3 new bolts to replace these ones. So these ones are a little bit longer because you have the bracket now, so it's a little bit longer. It needs to be a little bit longer, the bolts. There's a nut. A nut for what was this nut for? Oh, this, this nut replaces this nut over here. So the stator has this nut right here. So this nut actually replaces that. So that way it has this, see the smooth surface right here. That's where the bearing fits in. So the bearing will sit inside like so, like that. And it kind of free floats. The bearings could actually free float a little bit, so it doesn't have to be, all the way. And the other thing it comes with is this little thresh washer. You see it? It's like a cone shape, so it's kind of like a, I think they call it a thresh washer if I remember right. That also goes in there. I can't remember if it goes with the cone facing out, or bulging outwards, or a cup in the cup inward, or going outwards. Yeah, look at the manual. Let's do this end first, since I think that's probably going to be the easiest thing to do. Let's see, I could do this without. Shit. Okay. Man, it's kind of hard. I don't have the right grip for this. go. See what I just did? I changed the grip from here to here. This distance here, because of where I'm holding it, I'm holding the cover, this cover here on the outside of the cover. So this right here gives me more leverage against the cover, with the cover, and this way here I have less leverage on the cover. So let's see right here. I will probably do it right here, I think. So the stator should stay in place as is, where it is. Oops, this thing popped off. Let me pop this thing back in here. I don't want it to dangle on the cables. So this is the gasket seal thingamabob. I'd rather it dangle on that, put the stress on that, and not the stress on the cables. So let's look at this factory bolt length, which is the new bolt length. See, it's about, I don't know, 6 or so millimeters longer. I feel strange wearing these gloves. I haven't worn gloves working on this, or working on engines in a while. I used to not wear gloves at all. Then I started wearing gloves for a while. Then I stopped wearing gloves for a while. Just the gloves kind of, I don't know, kind of gets in the way. You have less dexterity, less feel. Even though these are very thin, you still have less feel compared to your bare hands. But you know, the reason why you wear gloves is that way your hand don't get so dirty, right? You don't want to have all that grime and grit underneath your fingernails, right? But also, if I remember right, fingernails, or excuse me, not fingernails, oil. Let's see, this goes, yep, okay, so the step goes downwards. The step goes downwards and it sits inside like so. And I think the bearing, I believe the bearing sits in here, if I can remember right. Yeah, the bearing sits right in there. So it just pops right in. And this thing right here with a cup, it acts as a race for the outside of the bearing. Pinching, you know, this step right here, that step, the bearing will sandwich the bearing with the step inside where the stator is. If you guys can see that. I actually should get some oil into this thing. Let me just dip this thing in this oil. Since this is brand new oil, brand new oil, I'm not worried about it being dirty. Some people are like, oh, it's dirty. Well, you know, it came from the engine. You know, just because it's out in the container doesn't mean it's any more dirty, right? Which is fine. So, and this should pop right in. Oops. There we go. Should go in nice and squarely, like so. And this square actually will square it up, I think. So let's put this like so. Let's put it like that. Oops. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's supposed to put it the other way around. Definitely fits like that. Actually, since I'm at it, I'm looking at the bearing, and the bearing always has things that says what size and all that stuff is. So I'm going to use that as facing outwards. So that way, you could, in the future, you could just look at it, you know, without having to take it out and see what bearing size it is. So if this thing goes in perfectly nice and straight, square, it should sit nice in there and nice and easy. So I'm not sure it's this way or the other way. Now I'm not sure. Okay, now I need to look at the instruction because that little this ring bracket thing right here is not it's not sitting in the in the what we call it, in the the stator. So let's look at this real fast, and I haven't done this in a long time. The last time I did this was probably on my Super Cub, I think. Was it the Super Cub or the Trail 125? Let's see, I got the monkey first. And I think I got the Super Cub second, maybe. Then the Trail 125. So let's back this up a little bit. All in Japanese, so I have no idea what it says. All in Japanese as well. Blah blah blah. Oh, they even tell you to take off the chain cover over here. There's no need to do that. At least not on this bike. Maybe on a different bike, you know, a different model bike. Maybe one of the other bikes you need to do that. Okay, here we go. So you see the step. It shows the step as inwards, I think. So it's interesting that this thing doesn't sit inside. Very interesting. When I ordered this thing, it said it was for the Dax. You know, it was under as part of the Dax. But this one is it's not actually sitting in there because there's no step for this thing to fit underneath. If you look at this picture here, you actually see where the bearing is in there. You actually see a step. You actually see the bearing actually sits under the stator. So there's actually a step there, but here there isn't. It doesn't fit right. So that has me a little bit concerned here. Makes me a little bit concerned. So this is not fitting any higher. Something changed. I should go back into my videos for the Super Cub and the Trail. Super Cub and the Trail 125, because I think they're, you know, they both use the same. Actually, no, it's not the same, because this engine is newer. This is the smaller bore, longer stroke, I think. Engine compared to the older engines. I think this doesn't sit right. This is not right. Okay, so let me go into my old videos, see what it looks like. So you guys can have to, you know, hold on for a second. Okay, so I went in and looked at my old videos and looked at the part numbers and everything, and this one's completely different. And the interesting thing is that this one is, you know, the bearing sticks out, so that's kind of similar to the CT 125. It sticks out, but the difference with the CT 125 is that, see these points here on the CT 125. One of these spots here, it has like it's a mounting for one of the hose, well, not the hose, the line. So it's like a little mounting spade right there. So it steps up a little bit. So, and also the CT, yeah, it doesn't have the step. Yeah, this one has the step. So the monkey. Is it the monkey? So the Monkey and the Super Cub is like this, where the bearing actually pops up a little bit. You know, this thing pops up. It looks like about 2 millimeters or so, something like that. I'm not exactly sure. You know, I need to put my calipers on there and see exactly how much it pops up. But the CT doesn't. The CT actually, the bearing here, where the race is on the outer race, it actually sits recessed to the stator. So yeah, so this doesn't fit. So I'm not sure what the hell's going on with this. I'm thinking maybe, is it possible that the Japanese version is different? But I don't think they made a different version or a different model. Not that I'm aware of. So that's why I'm like, what the hell's going on? You know. So I'm looking at this thing. I'm like, what the hell? So I'm not sure what to do now. I'm thinking maybe if I should order the one for the Monkey and Super Cub, because those two bikes, the bearing here sticks out, protrudes out, versus the CT, it's recessed. But those ones, they're slightly different as well, because this one, all three mounting spots, it's all smooth, it's all level with each other. The Monkey and the Super Cub, one of them actually has a piece that pops up a little bit, that protrudes, so the piece won't be the same. You know, what I could do is I could, with that, if I use that one, because the kits, they're all the same. The only thing that's different is this piece right here. So I think what I could do with that is I could put a washer, because that kit, one of this part right here is actually kind of recessed in a little bit. I could put a washer right in there, and that should work. You know, that should work. It should be okay. Again, this is really strange. I'm not sure, again, if the US model one is different than the Japanese model one, but it's not, you know, obviously you see here it's not fitting. So yeah, so very weird. So anyways, so here, the number here, this is 01100150. So all the numbers are the same except for the last three numbers. On the Monkey and the Super Cub, the last three number is 138, I believe, and on the CT is 145. And also be mindful that all those other those are the older engines. So this engine here, this is the newer engine. This is the one with the narrower bolt pattern. You know, this bolt pattern is more narrow compared to the old ones. Because the old ones, you can actually put a big bolt kit on it, or a bigger big bolt kit. This one, because it's narrower, you're limited to on a big bolt kit. If you want to put a big bolt kit, it's not going to be as big, because the bolts here are narrower. So you can't really, so much space to put a big bolt kit. So I think you only put like a smaller big bore, like see, this is 125, but I think you could put turn it into maybe like a 150, I think. But you can't do the 181 or whatever it is, like 180 something. That's with the old engine, with the bigger, wider spacing bolt. Well, this one is narrower, so this one doesn't. You're not able to put the 181 kit on here. So yeah, so those other ones, the engines were the older style engine. This is the new style engine, but as far as the stator itself, and this one, just stator, you can see that it's different. You see that the bearing protrudes. It protrudes above the stator mounting spot by just a tiny bit. Let me go get my calipers and let me see what the depth is. All right, so caliper, turn it on. So you can see it zeroed out. Let's clean the jaws. So zeroed out. So I'm gonna let me see. Oh man, this head doesn't fit. Dang it. Yeah, I'm gonna try this end. This is normally for to plunge into a hole, but because the head doesn't fit right here, I'm not able to measure the depth. So I'm gonna measure the depth this way from here. So just like that. 1.28 millimeters, which is, let's see how many thousands of an inch is that. 50,000. So let's call it 50 thousandths. 51 thousandths. 50, 51,000, 128, 129. millimeters. So yeah, so there you go. Man, I'm really bummed. So now I have to put everything back, and I can't do anything because I'm stuck the way it is. Okay, well, it's worth a try. I need to figure something out. Because I need what I need is, because everything else is the same. It's just this piece right here that's different. This is the only thing that's different is this bracket. So I'm just gonna button everything back up, and I'm gonna try to order the one that where this piece doesn't have this step for a recessed one. I'm gonna order the one that actually made for the bearing that protrudes. I think that's the 138 versus this one. This one is a 150, and the old CT is 145. The old CT engine. The previous generation, the first generation CT 125 is 145. The number is 145, and the previous Monkey and Super Cub, the number is 138. So this is the this is a second gen engine, so that's why it might be slightly different. And then the Dax has been around. How many years has the Dax been around? It hasn't been around very long, right? It's only been around since it's only been around for I think a couple of years, I think. So as far as being in the, I think it's only been around for a couple of years. So I think when they came out with the Dax, they already came out with it with this new second generation engine. So they're not using the previous engine, right? So again, let me wipe all this oil real quickly. Wet seals, because I don't want oil to seep from there. I should be able to just pop this thing all back in, straight in there. Oops, I can't do it yet. I need to take off the stupid bearing. Take off the bearing, and take off the, or not take off, but put back the 3 mounting bolts. 3 bolts here. So yeah, so I'm kind of bummed. I'm losing light too. The sun already set, I think, or the sun's just about setting. So see it's light, so you guys might not be able to see very much either. But yeah, I'm gonna button this all back up, then see about maybe hopefully order the one for the Monkey, the 138, because I swore I had an extra one, but I was looking through my boxes and I couldn't find it. I'm not sure what happened to it, where I put it. Let's see, where's my wrench? Where's my wrench? There's. Enough. A little bit of oil in here. Should be okay. Let's see, make sure my little plug here is in correctly. Okay, that's good. Just one out of the way. Should pop right back in place. Let's see, pop in place. It's not popping in. There it goes. There it goes, popped in. Just need to screw the screws back in, and I'm good. I think I'm gonna video tape that part where I'm screwing the covers back in. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. All right, here's my Dax. This is a different day, more than just a different day, different month. I think this is at least a month or 2 months later. So I'm back opening this thing. So I had some problems. So let's look at it. Let's look at what the problem is here. Let's look at the parts here. Let's see. Oh shoot! My razor. Got my razor. So the problem is the part doesn't fit ultimately. Alright, the part doesn't fit. Let's move this damn thing around. So this is what I originally ordered. Is this one in here? This packet. So oops, the thing's in here. So this is, so I got this on WeBike, right? That's what it shows right there. So I could zoom out. So that's what it shows. All right, there's the part number here, 0110-0150. All right. The thing with these kits from Takegawa is that they're all the same. The only thing that's different between them, is it's this bracket right here. So let me cut this open again. So it's already cut open, but tape it up. Let me cut it open again. It's this bracket right here. So this bracket, you see, there's a step, right? It steps inwards, so it goes into the piece. So here are a piece here, right? It goes in. The problem here is that trying to put this in, there's not enough space here, right? It's not enough space for everything. So let me show you why. Let me take this apart first. All right, so I got all the bolts off. So let's put the bearing in. Here's the bearing. The bearing slips right in there. It's like a perfect fit. It slips right in. If you don't have it at the right, perfectly square, it won't go in. Come on. Jeez. God damn it. Oh shit. Damn it. Bearing rode outside. Rode out into the driveway. Into the rain. So now it's all dirty and wet. God damn it. Okay. Alright. Let's try that again. I wiped it all clean. Oops. Jeez. It's not going in very well. I wonder because it's kind of cold today and this thing's been sitting in the garage the whole day. Versus for the last time I worked on this, I think I had this thing out on the driveway and it was a little bit warmer. So everything's a little bit warmer, it means the metal expands. When it's colder, it shrinks. Can't get this thing in here. I can't get it sitting in straight. But anyways, you can see how deep it is. It's not very deep. The thickness of the bearing is actually thicker than the depth. So on other bikes, like I think the Monkey or the Trail or whatever, whichever, I don't know, whatever other bike, because they're all kind of slightly different. This right here, it goes in deeper. So the bearing, when it sits in here, it sits up and it sinks in, right? So that's where this bracket will actually goes inside, so that way it takes up that space that the bearing is sunk in, right? See that step right there on the bracket? So yeah, so it's supposed to sit in like so, and there's no space there for the bearing. You know, there's only like maybe 5 millimeters or something like that, and this bearing right now, like the way it is probably at least 8, maybe 10 millimeters, somewhere between 8 and 10 millimeters. So this bracket doesn't work. So that's the problem I have. And again, this is supposed to be for this bike, but it's possible that the Japanese version of this bike is different than the American version. Because I was looking at the WeBike website, and looking at the part numbers for some of Honda's other bike, like I can't remember if it's the Monkey or the Grom, or anyways, one of the other numbers. The Japanese version of this kit was a different part number than the Thai version. And, you know, this bike's made in Thailand, but then I think the Japanese version, I'm not sure if the Japanese version of this bike is, or of whatever, you know, of that bike, that part number, it's made in Thailand or not. But whatever the case, I looked at all the different all these different kits for all the different bikes, you know, the Monkey and the Grom and all that stuff. And this is the one I found. This one is for here's the part number right there. So it's 0110 0134. So this one always says right there. It's for the Grom JC61. So whichever Grom that is, because there's like three. I think there's 3 different Groms. There's the first generation Grom, then the version 2 of the first generation Grom. So it's still version 1, or still first generation, but version 2 of first generation. So 1.2 or whatever. Then there's the new Grom, the new body, you know, new engine Groms, and that one's even different. So anyway, so I looked at all of them, and the only thing that's different in these kits, everything is the same. Everything is identical. The only thing that's different is this bracket. So here, this kit I got right here, the reason why I got this one, if you look at this bracket, see how it has the, let's see, you guys can see that. See how it steps inwards? So that means the bearing, let's see, let's grab this bearing. So that means the bearing could sit in this. So that means because this motor here, there's not enough space in here. So that means the bearing will actually protrude past the stator. So that means this right here, since it cups the bearing, so I have it like that. But even then, this step here is not deep enough. Well, actually, I'm not sure if it's deep enough. It might be too deep. I can't remember now. I think it might be too deep, because when the bearing goes in there and it protrudes, it only protrudes about 1 millimeter or so. It doesn't protrude much. This right here looks like it's about 2 millimeters. Yeah, it looks like it's a little bit, it's a little bit bigger. But anyways, so this is the closest one that I found that could fit. So I'm gonna use this one. What I'm gonna do when I use this one is, oh shit, this thing doesn't line up. The bolt hose doesn't line up. Oh, there it goes. It lines up right there. The other way did not line up. So this way it lines up. Yeah, so this thing has a straight spot right there. See that? There's a straight edge right here. So a straight edge up did not line up. So I have to put the straight edge to the side. Let's see if it lines up on this side. Nope, this side doesn't line up either. This side doesn't line up, so it hits this straight edge right here because it's more bulky. See that this part right here is more bulky, but here's is more narrow. So this way doesn't fit. That way doesn't fit. So the only way that fits is this way. So oof, I'm glad it fits. Because if it didn't fit, man, I would be in trouble. Okay, so it fits this way. So that's good. So I'm gonna put it this way. But anyways, I need to get the bearing in. Again, these kits, they're literally all identical. Everything's identical. including the bearing. They're identical too. If I look at the numbers here and see in the bag, it's kind of glaring. But yeah, the bearings are identical too. Everything's identical. Even the nut that's in here, it's identical. So everything's identical. Since I already opened this one, I'm just gonna grab this one and use this kit because this one's still all sealed. I'm just gonna use this bracket with this kit. But what I have to do with this bracket right here, with the step that's down, I'm gonna have to sand this down a little bit. So I'm gonna put this piece on a sandpaper on top of glass, because glass will keep it nice and flat. I'm gonna just put it out like so, and I'm just gonna do figure eights. If you just do circles, it won't sand evenly, so one spot will be more worn out than the other. But figure eights will even it out. So there is a little bit of a step down on right here as well. You see that right there? So this bracket was meant for a different bike, where this step down right here that you see, where it's thinner than over here, is that on a different bike, on the bike that's supposed to be meant for, one of these holes right here where the step down is, has like a washer or whatever. So that's what this goes over that. Obviously I don't have this, and since I have to sand it down, I'm wondering if it needs to be sanded down to this thinness or almost the same thinness. If it sands down to this thinness, that would work out perfectly, because it'd be a perfect fit. I would know exactly there too, but I actually haven't measured the protrusion, how much it protrudes out. So I need to do that, but I need to get this thing in there first. So I'm gonna do that off camera. Because it seems like a struggle. All right, so I got the bearing in. I used the heat gun to heat up the metal to expand it out a little bit. Then I was able to get the bearing in. So so that tells me it's a very precise fit. But before I was able to do it, but then I think before when I did this, my engine wasn't fully cold. It was sort of warmed up, because I think before I did this, I think I warmed it up so that way I could drain out the oil. But anyways, whatever the case, it's in there. Let's take this off so you guys can see the protrusion. See how there's a protrusion from the let's do it from this angle. From the where the bearing it sticks out, right? It sticks out a little bit. It sticks out less than the step on this right here. How much less? Let me see. Let me grab my calipers and see. Here's my calipers. Mi tutorial. Let's see. Let's go with thousandths. Okay, let's go to thousandths. Let me do this plunge right here. So it comes out to 50 thousandths. That's all right. Let me try another spot over here. So 42 thousandths. Try another spot. $43 thousandths. So over here. 45 thousandths. Let's try back to the original spot again. Over here somewhere. Was it right here? $50 thousandths. So this thing's not fully. It's not even. I think the reason why it's not even is because on the other side, it's resting against the case, and the case on the other side is not machined. It's just it's just the casing, so it's not machined. Okay. So so that's why it's not even. So let's measure this thing. So that was let's see, maximum was 50,000, right? 50,000. Oops. Oops. Dang it. Turn that back on. All right, zero it out. So let's see how thick this thing is. So this thing is. Oh, this thing's almost an eighth of an inch. 124. It's almost an eighth. A thousandth shy of an eighth. 1235. 135. Let's actually do where the bolt is. So can you see where the bolt is? 124. Let's do it over here. 124. Let's use the end, the pinch ends. 123. 1235. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 4. So it's just shy of an 8. So this is the spot where the piece is lower. Let's see how thick that is. 84,000. So let's see, 84 to 124. Let's see, 84 to 100 is 16. 16 and 24. Let's see, 24 and 16. 4 and 6 is 10. 2, 3, 40. 40 thousandths. So it's 40,000 smaller here. So this thing, the thickest was 50 thousandths. Over here was 84 thousandths. So that means the difference is 50 to 84 is 34. So let's look at the step in here and see how thick that is. Oh shoot, I can't get this in. I can't get it in there. You know what? I have my micrometer. I can use my micrometer for that. Okay, so let me pull out my micrometer. So I just happen to have it right here with me. Let's see if this thing has any batteries. Oh man, I'm out of batteries. God damn it. Yeah, my batteries are almost dead. Dang it. God dang it. I'm not sure if I have a battery for this thing. I don't know what size batteries this my grandmother used. So I have this old Mitutoyo. So this one goes down to 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th decimal place. So that's a lot more precise than calipers are, right? So you see the numbers. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see if the zero's out. Oh, negative 4,000. Negative 6. Negative 5. I'm using the little clicker here. Negative 4. Negative 4. Negative 2. Oh, negative 1,000. Negative 2. Anyways, let's see if I could get this in here and see how thick this is. So this thing is oh, so millimeters. What the hell is in millimeters? Is that millimeters? I can't tell. Damn it, I need to get a new battery. I don't know what battery size this is. I'm not sure if I have batteries for this. So let's see. So it says 1.189. So that's millimeters. That's not thousands. So let's go over here to switch to thousands. Okay. 046. 046. 046,000. Right? 046 in that one spot. Let's try a different spot. Oh, 47. Try the other spot now. One more spot. Oh, 49. So this piece is not perfectly machined down either. So let's call it 049. This thick, this depth was, what was it? 50,000. 50,000. 049. Oh, that's about 50 thousandths. So the depth is, actually, you know what? It doesn't matter. That depth doesn't matter. I need to subtract it. I totally forgot. So let's call this 50,000, or let's just say 49,000. 49,000 subtract from the actual Actually, let's subtract it from the spot with right here where my thumb is. So that was 49. Right here is 84. 49 to 84. 49 to 84. So basically, I'm looking at 35 thousandths. 35 thousandths. So this step right here is actually too small. This step right here is too narrow. If I sand this thing down, because again this part coming up is 50 thousandths. I need 50 thousandths, so that's too narrow. So if I go back to the thick spot over here. Where's thick? So this is 1, 2, 4, or 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So I need to subtract this from the thin one. 1, 2, 3 to was it 049? 1, 2, 3 to 049. So that would be 50, 60, 70. So that's about 70. Let me see, 70. So it's 40. The thin one was actually 49. Thick one is 1, 2, 3. Let's call it 1, 2, 4. And the thickest part was 49. 49 to 124. 49 to 100 is 51. Then add 24. 51, 24, 50, 60, 70, 75. So 75 thousandths is the difference. So this right here is 50,000, 75,000. That means I have to sand down 25 thousandths. So basically I have to sand this thing down to 100 thousandths. So 100. Okay. So that's my goal. I'm gonna sand this thing down to 100,000. 100,000. And that should do it. Because this thin spot right here, this one is actually more than 100. I think it's like 100 and no, it's actually less than 100. It's like only 80 something. 84,000. So it's still gonna be thicker than this part right here. So I need to bring it down to 100 thousandths. Okay. So now at least I know my math, and I just need to sand this down. Again, I'm gonna sand this down on a I have a couple grit of sandpaper. Start with a little coarser, bring it down first, close to it. Then I get my finer sandpaper. And I have the sandpaper on top of glass, thick glass too. I have glass that's at least a 1/4 inch thick. So that keeps it nice and flat. And when I do this, I'm not gonna go in circles, because you go in circles, it won't be even. What you want to do is you want to go in figure eights. So that way, wherever, because if you go and say clockwise, whatever direction you do this way, one part's gonna wear out more than the others. So it's to counteract that, you go the opposite, and hopefully that will counteract that. So that's the reason why you go a figure eight. So that way it always fixes itself. And when you do that, because there's 3 sides, right? I'm just gonna go like this. Let's say I do 10 figure eights. Then I flip it that way, 10 figure eights, and I flip it this way, 10 figure eights, and so on and so forth. I keep on flipping it. So that way it keeps this thing nice and flat the whole time. Too bad I don't have access to a machine shop anymore. I used to work, in a shop and stuff, and I knew people, but all the shops I used to work with, they all been out of business for a long time now. So anyways, so the next clip you see, for me it's probably gonna be a couple hours to do this, maybe an hour. For you, it's only be a few seconds, but I'll be back. All right, so it took me 2 hours to sand this down, this bracket. You can see right here. This is a 60 grit sandpaper. It's not even for metal. And it says rapid removal, rapid wood, rust, paint removal. But anyways, that's what I had. So that's what I used. And again, it's not a wet dry. I started out dry about 15 minutes, and I got, man, this is too much work. So I wet it, and it started falling apart. You can see, because again, this is not a wet dry. This is a dry only. But I wet it, but because wetting it's easier. But anyways, it took me about 2 hours, all sanding by hand. And this bracket, this ring bracket here, it's steel. It's made of steel, so it took extra long. And earlier I mentioned how the kits are all the same except for the brackets. So I take that back. Two things that are different: the brackets are different, and the bolts are different. Because this bracket that's supposed to be for this bike, it's a lot thicker, so the bolts are longer. Whereas the bracket that I got that's supposed to be for the Grom, it's thinner, so that the bolts are a little bit shorter. So I used the bracket from this Grom one. But anyways, I think I'm gonna use the bolts and the washer from here because I already opened this up and this one is not open yet. So yeah, I'm mixing and matching. It doesn't really matter after that point. Again, it's mainly the bracket and the bolts, but everything else should be the same. Okay, so back to here. So I screwed it in already. So remember how this thing is, this side, see how it's flat? And this side over here is the side that has a little step where it's thinner. It's so thin that I don't think I could find a washer that could be that thin. So I decided just to wrench this down, torque it down, and then I torque this down. And I'm spinning this bearing. It feels smooth to me. It doesn't feel like it's binding or anything. All right. So I think I should be okay. So yeah, so now it's just a matter of cleaning everything up and putting it back together. Or you know what, I haven't replaced this bolt yet. So this nut, I should say. So this nut is this one right here. This one right here, and the thrust washer. So this one right here. Again, this one's the same as this one over here. They're all the same. And the thrust washer is kind of like a lock washer. I mean, it's called a thrust washer because it's, if you look at it, see how it's kind of a cone shape. It's not flat. So yeah, so these two things needs to go in here. So I need to take that out. So because this thing is not it's cone shape, the cone pointing towards the out, it should be like that. Then this nut will go on like that. So I need to get my impact driver and impact wrench and bust this open. Take that washer off because I'm not gonna use that washer anymore. That's in here. That's underneath this. Then I can put these in. Right, so let me go get that wrench. And this one, I think it looks like, eyeballing it looks like it's a 17, but I'll see. I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I was right. So this is a 17. And the replacement, this one here is a 14. So let's get that in there. Shoot, I'm so cramped in here. No space to work. Oh, I need a battery. Where's my battery? Where's my battery? Oh, you battery. Okay. Oh. So there's my little mini, what do they call it? Compact Makita, half-inch driver. This thing's not very strong. Oops, let me get this pin out of the way before it goes flying. So pin right here. So that's the pin for the starter up here. So up right here. Let's see. Let's impact this thing out. Get it out. So strong enough. And take the washer out as well. Let's get that washer out. Okay, so now the new washer again, it's shaped like a cone, so the cone pointing outwards. That, then that's in here. Not sure what the torque on this thing is. I'm just going to use my impact driver and feel it from there. Remove this 17, put on the 14. Strong enough. Okay. So that's in. So I should test fit this thing. I should slide this on here and make sure that how this works. Let's look at this and how it works. Is that this flat spot right here, past the hex, that flat spot inserts into the bearing right here, and that's how it rolls. That's how it spins. And that should be it. So, do I need to test fit it? No, I don't need to test fit it. I can just put everything back. Let's put everything back. Just pin it back in here. Oops. Pins back in there. Oh, it's oily. Everything's oily. Let's see. Let me wipe down the mating surface here. Clean as best I can. Usually, if this was an old engine, I would totally replace the gasket that's on this cover right here that I'm holding. But this is a very new engine, new bike, new engine only has like 100 miles. I think the gasket works just perfectly fine. So I'm gonna reuse the gasket. And it's actually a metal gasket, surprisingly. That really surprised me. Usually this gasket is Honda doesn't usually use a metal gasket, but in this case they did. So that really surprised me. It's a steel gasket. Reach in there. Okay. Bottom here is where the extra oil is. It was dripping. It's been a couple hours already, so hopefully whatever oil is dripping out has already dripped out, so it stays dry right there. Right. So here's the gasket. Again, it's a metal gasket. Let me wipe this down too. So I'm looking at it. It looks perfectly fine. I don't see anything wrong with it. So I'm just gonna reuse it. Just wipe it clean. Wipe it clean and reuse it. Again, if this thing had like a lot of miles on it, then I would totally use a new gasket, you know, because this kit comes with a gasket. But in this case, it's not new, so I'm gonna use the old gasket. So it fits like that. So I took out the pin, I was gonna say dowel pin, but you know the alignment pins. There's two of them, so I put it on the case side instead of the cover. That way I could put this gasket in here and hold it in place so it doesn't get messed with. And for this side, let me wipe. I see the oil in here. I see the oil's a little bit dirty. I think it's just because it's been sitting over here and I've been fitting back and forth. So it probably got a little bit grimy. Oops, I see a little dog hair right in here. A little bit of dog hair. I swear, when you have dogs, man, hair's everywhere. Can't escape it. Sure, the two cables, this cable over here and the little bracket is out of the way. Okay, so that way it doesn't get hung up. Alright, should be on. Now it's just a matter of putting all the bolts back in place. So this is all the bolts are all the same, all 8mm. So that's pretty simple, pretty easy. So do a cross pattern, right? So I'm gonna start off over here first. Actually, let me get this wiring harness bracket in here. So I'm just getting in there. I'm not putting any torque down. I just want to get all the bolts in place first. So yeah, it slipped right on pretty easily. So cross pattern, so I want that, and over here. Again, I'm not really worried about the cross. I shouldn't worry about the cross pattern right now because it's not torque. It's when you torque it, that's when you need to do the cross pattern, the proper cross pattern. So now it's just hand tight. So again, this and you saw how the bracket holds in the bearing. You saw how the stator on this side, you know, the stator just hangs out there. So there's nothing supporting it, right? That's the reason why I use this. So I have to send all my mini bikes. I had it in my Super Cub when I had my Super Cub. I have it in my Monkey. I have it in my my Trail 125. So and now the Dax125. So makes it again, it's that extra support. Makes a difference, especially in higher RPMs. See that, tap, this. Here. Okay, right now I'm just lightly tightening my hand. I haven't really cinched it down yet. Okay, so now I could start cinching it down. Again, I'm only holding it right here like this, but I'm not holding it out at the end of the handle. And this is a small 1/4 inch wrench, so it's not real strong. And you know, these bolts are all 8 millimeters anyways, so they're not real strong either. So don't over torque it basically, otherwise you're gonna strip the case, and that's gonna be a very expensive fix because you have to replace the case, or maybe helicoil it. But helicoil is kind of risky. There's another type of thing that's similar to helicoil. That's, I think, a little bit better. I always forget the name of it. It's kind of hard to find too. You have to, you know, helicoil, you could go to the hardware store and buy it. But the other stuff that's similar to helicoil, that's better. It's kind of hard to find. All right. So everything's in place. The wires are in place. Let me wipe down the oil that leaked down here on the engine right here. Now I just need to fill up the engine. Oh, I need to put the shift lever back on. Put the shift lever back on. Let's see, how was this thing? Was it like this? Hanging like this? What was the angle? Was it up like this? I don't remember what the angle was. Let's see. Like this? That feels like it's too far down. Yeah? It feels like it's too far down. I don't remember what that level was. Things like that. Right here, still below the rubber. So I think that should be good. So then the last bolt, which is a 10 millimeter. Shove these out of the way, but just in case I drop the bolt, I don't want to fish it out of my oil pan bucket. This one here. What I'd like to do is I would like to get something that's a little bit safer for the shifter, because if you crash, you hit right here, this thing could bend the shifter shaft. So if you have something like a fold right here, you know, hopefully less likely to bend. But I might have something in one of my storage box, or my box of goodies. Okay, that's good enough. And again, I held it like so. So it seemed like I put a lot of torque on it, but realistically I didn't, because I held it right at the head. All right, so now I just need to fill up the oil, and I'm good. And that's it. That's putting on the brace. Oh God, no, because that'll scratch. Yeah. So I had to use two different kits. Realistically, you don't need 2 kits. You need so realistically, you know, if you're gonna order from WeBike, this is what I order right here. Again, this is the original kit that I ordered. 0110 0150. So on WeBike it shows that this is for the Dax125, but it's not. It doesn't fit. So I'm thinking the Dax125 in Japan is different from the one that comes to the US. So I used the Honda Monkey one, 0110 0134, and it says gram. It says gram. Excuse me, not monkey, gram. But I had to modify this. Remember that bracket? I had to sand it for like 2 hours to get it down to what was it? To 100,000, right? 100th thou. So 0.1, right? For it to fit, and that's it. Okay, so that was a long 2 hours. My hands are thrashed. Oh my God, I'm just sanding with my hands. You know, my hands are totally thrashed. So it was cramping, and my shoulders were cramping. So yeah, it's worth it to you know, prolong the life of this engine to do that. Again, I do it with all my little Honda Minis. As far as how long I'm going to keep this back, I have no idea. But that's it. All right, thanks for watching. One last thing, the gasket. So this one was for the one that was meant for the Dax, right? So you see right here. Actually, right here they didn't even say Dax. It says something 125. They might say Dax, but it also says CT 125. But this one comes with the metal gasket, just like the Dax, and that's the proper gasket. Whereas the one for the Grom, it comes with a non-metal one, and it's not the same pattern. Look at it. See how it's different? Let's see. Let's put this one right here. See, it's different right here. I think the bolt pattern is probably, no, it's not even the same. It's not the same bolt pattern. Nope. So you see how it's different, the two. So yeah. So I guess you do need both kits until WeBike figures it out. You know, or Takigawa figures it out. I shouldn't say WeBike. They just a retailer. Takigawa is the company that makes this. Until they figure it out, you need both kits. You need the 110, the 0110, 0150 that they say is for the Dax. Then you need the 0110, 0134 for the Grom. So the combination of the two will fit. So basically you have to pay twice the price. And I think this kit wasn't that expensive though. This kit was only, I think, about 30 bucks or so, about 30 bucks I think. So it wasn't too bad price wise. So yeah, so that's for your info. All right, thanks for watching.